Most people leave school believing one dangerous idea, that if they study hard, get good grades, find a stable job, money will eventually take care of itself. And for a while, that feels true. You get your first paycheck. You feel proud, independent, responsible. You tell yourself, this is the beginning of my future. But slowly, something strange happens. The years pass. The work becomes heavier. The stress becomes normal. The dreams become quieter. And one day, usually late at night, you ask a question nobody warned you about. How am I working so hard and still not getting ahead? Meanwhile, somewhere else, someone your age is building wealth quietly. No stress, no noise, no social media. They are not smarter than you. They are not luckier than you. They simply learned rules about money that nobody ever taught you in school, because school teaches you how to memorize, how to obey, how to fit into systems, but it never teaches you how money really works. And money is a system of its own. The first rule is uncomfortable, but life-changing. Money does not reward effort, it rewards value. Two people can work the same hours, feel the same pressure, make the same sacrifices. One becomes wealthy, the other stays exhausted, because the world does not pay for time, it pays for results, for skills that are rare, for decisions that scale, for systems that grow. This is why some people earn more in one decision than others earn in 10 years of labor. Not because they are greedy, but because they understand leverage. They place themselves where one action can create 1,000 outcomes. While most people trade hours, the wealthy trade positioning. The second rule is the moment everything changes. Income does not create wealth, ownership does. A salary feels safe, predictable, comforting. But the moment you stop working, it stops. Wealth does not. Wealth continues when you rest, when you travel, when you sleep. This is why rich people chase assets. Businesses that operate without them, buildings that pay rent, rights that generate royalties, systems that collect money silently. They do not ask, how much do I earn? They ask, what do I own? Because income feeds your present, but ownership builds your future. The third rule explains why most people never escape. Saving is important, but saving alone is a slow road. Banks love savers because they borrow your money cheaply and lend it back expensively, while you celebrate a tiny interest rate. They build empires. The wealthy do not hide money. They move it. They send it into businesses, into property, into ideas, into systems. They let money travel where growth lives, because money sitting still is money slowly dying. The fourth rule is the quiet destroyer of dreams. Time is not equal to money. Time is more valuable. Money can be recovered. Time never returns. This is why the wealthy hate wasting time. They automate. They delegate. They systemize. They remove themselves from small decisions, so their attention stays focused on growth. They do not ask, how can I work more? They ask, how can I make this work without me? That is how empires are born. The fifth rule is misunderstood by almost everyone. Debt is not evil. Ignorant debt is. Debt that buys status destroys you. Debt that buys assets builds you. The wealthy borrow to acquire income, not to impress, not to compete, not to pretend. They use debt like a scalpel, carefully, strategically, precisely. While others fear it, they master it. The sixth rule explains stress. High income does not equal freedom. Cash flow does. Someone earning $200,000 with high expenses is often more trapped than someone earning $60,000 with strong investments. Freedom is not about income. It is about independence. How long can you live without asking permission? How long can your money support your life? That is the real measure of wealth. The seventh rule is the one nobody wants to accept. Hard work is respected, but hard work alone is not rewarded. Hard work without strategy creates exhaustion. The richest people are not the busiest. They are the calmest. They think before they act. They design before they build. They build before they expand. Their effort multiplies, while others repeat effort year after year with the same results. The eighth rule is about fear. Most people avoid risk. They choose comfort, predictability, safety, but safety has limits. Low growth, slow progress, invisible ceilings. The wealthy do not chase danger. They chase understanding. They study risk, control it, spread it, and reduce it. They understand that the greatest danger is standing still. The ninth rule explains generational wealth. Time horizon. Poor people plan for survival. Middle class plans for retirement. The wealthy plan for legacy. They build structures that survive them. trusts, companies, intellectual property. They ask different questions, not how do I get rich, but how do I build something that never stops paying? That is how wealth becomes permanent. The 10th rule is rarely spoken. Money amplifies character. It does not fix it. Discipline becomes power. Chaos becomes destruction. This is why rich families teach mindset before money. They train decision-making. They train patience. They train restraint. Because one bad decision can destroy generations. The next rule explains why education fails financially. School trains employees, not owners. Workers, not builders. It teaches you how to pass tests, but never how to price your skills, never how to negotiate, never how to invest, never how to build systems. So people graduate intelligent and financially blind. The wealthy self-educate. They read, they study, they observe, they learn directly from outcomes. Because money respects knowledge and punishes ignorance. The next rule is subtle, but deadly. Lifestyle inflation. The more you earn, the more you spend. Bigger house, better car, more comfort, more pressure, and suddenly, a higher income gives you less freedom than before. The wealthy resist this trap. They grow assets faster than expenses, so every year, their freedom increases, while others upgrade their cages. Another rule nobody teaches. Wealth is built quietly, slowly, patiently. It does not announce itself. It does not go viral. It compounds for years, unnoticed, until one day it becomes unstoppable. This is why real wealth looks boring. No luxury posts, no noise, no competition, just systems working silently in the background. Another truth that changes everything. Rich people do not chase money. They chase positioning. They place themselves near opportunity, near information, near decision makers, near systems. Money follows proximity, always. The final rule is the one that defines your future. Thinking. Most people think in problems. The wealthy think in systems. Most people ask, how much does this cost? The wealthy ask, what will this produce? Most people ask, how do I earn more? The wealthy ask, how do I build something that earns without me? And that difference creates completely different lives, because wealth is not built by effort. It is built by understanding, by patience, by ownership, by long-term thinking. The moment you stop thinking like an employee and start thinking like a builder, everything shifts. You stop chasing income. You start creating engines. You stop seeking security. You start designing freedom. And slowly, quietly, without noise, your future begins to change. Not by luck, not by miracles, but by structure, by systems, by decisions. And that is the truth about money that nobody ever taught you in school.